Hi everyone, very good afternoon. So welcome back to Grade B, and this is our first class on accounting for EPFO. So we are conducting these classes so that we can cover the syllabus of accounting step by step, and obviously this is our first class. In this particular class, I am going to discuss basics of accounting, the conceptual questions that have been asked in the previous year examinations. We have already discussed previous year questions. If you have seen that, direct questions have been asked by giving the examples that okay, this is the example and you have to tell me that which principle is being applied over here or which concept has been applied over here. So with those things in mind, let's start the class today. We will be covering in this particular class basics of accounting, as well as we'll have a discussion on principles, conventions and the concepts onto which accounting is based. This particular class is relevant for everyone, whether you are having a commerce background or not having a commerce background, right? Because sometimes even if we are from commerce background, we tend to forget the concepts that we have studied earlier in class 11th or 12th. So the considerations are those that whether you have studied it or not, nothing matters. You will study it over here, and let's just start. Okay? So first of all, the first thing foremost that comes in onto mind, that what is accounting? Hoti kya hai accounting? So this much information I guess everybody has, that accounting is the process of recording, summarizing as well as presenting the particular data in a particular format so that it is useful for the stakeholders, right? So this is the concept of accounting. If you see, I have included the definition also, a proper definition that has been provided. Simultaneously, there will be differentiations on the basis of what is management accounting, what is cost accounting, right? So the different types of accountings I have included definitions on those as well, because sometimes what happens is a definition will be provided and you will be asked that what stream of accounting it is, and sometimes it becomes difficult for us to identify. That is why all the definitions have been included here itself. So let's start and talk about the definition of accounting or how accounting has been defined. See, in our day-to-day life, we all know that what is the meaning of accounting or what is the use and purpose of accounting. इतना तो हम सभी जानते हैं, ठीक है? So the thing is that you need to understand the theoretical definition, that's it. Because practically तो हम सभी को पता है कि accounting क्या होती है, ठीक है? So 1941 में American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, they have defined accounting as this is an art of recording, classifying, summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions and events which are part of financial character and interpreting the results. आपने एक फॉर्मेट बना दिया, you have prepared a format of P&L and balance sheet, great, fine. But now how the users are going to understand it? So after preparation of profit and loss account and balance sheet, there comes in another significant aspect where we use ratios, accounting ratios, you see. So by using the figures from balance sheet and P&L, हम उसको present करते हैं, interpret करते हैं ratios में. So the definition till this particular part, they are referring to the balance sheet and P&L. But just preparing balance sheet and P&L is not the sole agenda of accounting. Sole agenda is also, it includes that you should interpret the data as well. क्या आपके बिजनेस में लिक्विडिटी ज्यादा है, कम है, ठीक है? आपका डेप्ट इक्विटी रेशियो क्या है, हाउ सॉल्वेंट यू आर, व्हाट आर योर प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी रेशियोज, ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट, नेट प्रॉफिट, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. एवरीथिंग इज पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ द अकाउंटिंग, ठीक है? So will be not discussing much about it because we have to move further as well. So let's go and see. Accounting can therefore be defined as the process of identifying, measuring, recording and communicating the required information which is related to the economic events. ठीक है? हर किसी की अलग अलग नीड्स होती हैं, हर किसी को अलग अलग इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए, एंड एज पर द इंफॉर्मेशन एंड नीड्स ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल्स वी प्रिपेयर आवर financial data. Now at the same time, I would like to tell you one more thing over here. See, what is the meaning of stakeholders? Many a times in the accounting you will hear the word called as stakeholders. So stakeholder means in a business, who all are my stakeholders? Obviously the owners, they are my stakeholders because उनका तो पैसा ही लगा है. Directors are there, obviously. Then employees, your customers, your suppliers, government, and any third party which has any kind of interest in your business, that becomes your stakeholder. See, customers also want to know that what is your balance sheet and P&L position. Are you profitable or not? Okay, suppliers also want to know that particular same thing. Why customers would like to know? Because they would like to know कि आपका प्रोडक्ट बिकता भी है या नहीं. Correct? If you are profitable, that means your product quality is good and hence the customer will be attracted towards you. In case of suppliers, they would like to know whether you are a solvent, you have solvent position or not. Because ultimately उनका पैसा नहीं मिलेगा उनको, इसलिए solvency जानना भी बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. Now talking about few definitions, the types of accounting. See, the need of R over here is that you should understand the definitions here. ठीक है, तीन तरीके की अगर आपको अकाउंटिंग दी गई है, फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग, कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग, मैनेजमेंट अकाउंटिंग, तो उनमें फर्क क्या है? ठीक है, क्योंकि डेफिनेशंस कई कई बार पार्ट बन जाती हैं. आपको डेफिनेशन दे दी गई और फिर पूछ लिया गया कि ठीक है ये कौन सा अकाउंटिंग का टाइप है, then you should be able to answer it. Sometimes it can be asked. Now what is financial accounting? It assists keeping a systematic record of financial transactions, the preparation and presentation of financial reports, so that we can find out whether organizational success we are achieving or not, whether our business is sound or not. ठीक है, these are the things that you have to estimate under the financial accounting. Financial accounting is all relevant about your preparation of balance sheet, preparation of profit and loss account. In balance sheet, we would like to know that what is my position at the year end. In profit and loss account, I would like to know whether I am earning profit or I am into losses. What is the situation of my business? So this is called as the financial accounting. अब financial accounting समझ में आ गया तो cost accounting में क्या अलग करते हैं? ठीक है, so I am going to tell you, just wait for a second and I'll be back. Yes. So now talking about cost accounting. See, cost accounting talks about what is the difference between financial accounting and cost accounting. Let me tell you. Financial accounting focuses on finding out whether I am profitable or not. Under financial accounting, I include all kinds of expenses, direct expenses, indirect expenses, whether they are related to production, whether they're not related to production. Suppose I have made an investment, ठीक है, मेरा business है, I have a business of selling and buying cars. And I have a business of doing the marketing and selling of the cars. That is my business. And suppose if in this case I invest in some securities of, let's say, Reliance. I purchase some securities of Reliance Limited. What is going to happen? These securities, they are not part and parcel of my business. Understanding my point? So कुछ भी income, any dividend income or any interest income which I am going to receive from such securities, they are called as the investing activity. They are not my operational activity. ठीक है? But such kind of things, they are included under your financial accounting. ठीक है? Now in cost accounting, the focus is totally different. In the cost accounting, I will be focusing on the products that I am making. जो भी products मैं बना रही हूँ, I'll be focusing on to them. I would like to know that what is the profitability of my product, whether I am earning profits or I am not earning profits. ठीक है? यहाँ पे I was focusing on to overall results. In cost accounting, I will be focusing on to the costing of my product. ठीक है? Which product in cost accounting, it helps me in taking various kinds of decisions. Suppose right now I am having 4 products in my outlet, in my factory. Now I have to decide which product to continue and which product to shut down. ठीक है? So this kind of decision making I can arrive at by using the cost accounting, because in cost accounting the accounts that I maintain, they are product wise. ठीक है? They are totally focused on finding out the per unit cost and such things. It will be a complete course on the accounting from the perspective of your EPFO examination. Now let's see in the cost accounting. Cost accounting, it assists in analyzing the expenditure for ascertaining the cost of various products. Now I hope you must have understood the difference between financial accounting and cost accounting. Financial accounting, total results are targeted. Total profit क्या है, total loss क्या है, we are concerned with that. Cost accounting में we are concerned with the product costing and product profitability. ठीक है? Now moving on. So it has been provided under the cost accounting that it also helps in controlling the cost and providing necessary costing information to management for the decision making. Yesterday when I was taking top 50 MCQs on the costing, at that particular thing we discussed one particular MCQ. There were many options provided, and it was written that what is the basic purpose of cost accounting. कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग का बेसिक पर्पस क्या है, तब उसमें ये आंसर सही था कि द बेसिक पर्पस ऑफ कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग इज to help the management in decision making. There are so many decisions which needed to be made. How to control the cost, ठीक है? How to do the inventory valuation, how to do the product costing, how to find out the profitabilities of product. So these are different things. Yes, cost control, cost reduction, ठीक है, make buy decisions, finding out the variable cost, how to control the fixed cost, all such things are the part and parcel of cost accounting. ठीक है, जो आप costing पढ़ते हैं, different topics, chapters that you understand under costing, that is all sum total of cost accounting. Now we have called as management accounting. अब देखो होता क्या है ना, मैं आपको बताती हूँ. Suppose I am an executive, ठीक है? I work, I prepare the data, etc., etc. This is my responsibility. But my boss, who's my superior, he comes into top management. He or she comes, let's take, she comes into top management. ठीक है? So she is like कि I would like to know what is happening in my company or what is the current situation of our financials. ठीक है? So I cannot say her ki, yes ma'am, please see these are the transactions that have happened over the time. I cannot. I have to present my financials into summarized form. So I will give her the data like that. Ki, dear ma'am, see, in the financial year 2021, I will give the data like this. In the financial year 2021, we have achieved this much profitability, and this was our fixed cost. Whereas when I talk about the financial year 2022 or let's say 23, this is going to be my fixed cost, and this much is the profitability that I am aiming to achieve. ठीक है? So I will present my boss any financial data in the summarized format. ठीक है, एंट्री वाइज डेटा नहीं दिखाऊंगी मैं। 2021 में क्या हुआ, 2022 में क्या हुआ, एवरी डेटा समराइज्ड ऑल टुगेदर, दिस इज हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू प्रेजेंट दी डेटा। ठीक है, नाउ लेट्स सी द मैनेजमेंट कॉस्टिंग। Yes, financial year is from 1st April to 31st March. Management accounting, see, draws the relevant information mainly from financial accounting and cost accounting, obviously, which helps the management in budgeting, assessing profitability, taking pricing decisions, capital expenditure decisions, and so on. Just wait for a second. Okay, so management accounting, that's what I have said you. Management accounting takes all of its data from the financial accounting and cost accounting. ठीक है, डेटा यहां से पिक किया जाता है, बट व्हाट इज द वर्क ऑफ मैनेजमेंट? वर्क ऑफ मैनेजमेंट इज टू समराइज दिस डेटा in a format. ठीक है, right? So these are the differences between the management accounting, cost accounting, and financial accounting. Management accounting is nothing, summarizing the financial and cost data and presenting it to the management. This is the total focus of management accounting. Now once we have done with this, I have included some basic terms in accounting, but not most of the terms I have included, because mostly we all are aware about what is the basic terms in accounting used. Still, I am going to just narrate you a little bit, ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत, ज़्यादा नहीं. So let's say, for example, assets. Assets are my what you can say possessions, which I am going to use for the happening in my business, whatever activity I am doing in business. For the furtherance of such activity, I use assets. Assets can be of many types, right? So we have non-current assets and we also have the current assets. All such assets which are going to be in my business for a period of more than 12 months, they will be called as non-current assets, and all such assets which are going to be in my business for a period of lesser than 12 months, they are called as the current assets. ठीक है, इसमें भी कुछ bifurcations होते हैं, like you have tangible assets, intangible assets. ठीक है, even in current assets you have a further bifurcation called as liquid assets. Everything, each and everything we will be covering as we will be progressing. ठीक है, यहाँ पे मैं सिर्फ आपको इतना ही बताना चाहती हूँ कि yes, there is a concept of asset. Asset means anything that you are going to use in your business for the earning for with the aim of earning profits. ठीक है, so assets are those economic resources of an enterprise that are usefully expressed in monetary terms. They are classified into two types. मैंने अभी ज्यादा यहाँ पे see current assets, what I told you, they are going to remain in my business for a period of less than 12 months, like stock, my debtors जिनसे मुझे पैसे collect करने हैं, cash, the amount that I have deposited in bank. ठीक है, so all the people who are not very aware about, they do not have a commerce background, please do not worry about it. We will be talking about, just wait for, अभी आप सिर्फ असेट्स का मतलब समझिए. ठीक है, जैसे जैसे हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, एज वी विल प्रोग्रेस, वी विल टॉक अबाउट ऑल दीज थिंग्स इन डिटेल. ठीक है, कुछ छूटेगा नहीं. So assets, अभी आप इतना समझिए that there are non-current assets which are there in the business for a period of more than 12 months, and such things are obviously your land, building, machinery, furniture, such kind of things. ठीक है, current assets who are not who will be there in my business for a period of lesser than 12 months, like my stock. Obviously, if I have manufactured something, I am intending that I will be able to sell it within a period of 12 months. This is why, that is why it is called as the current assets. करंट असेट्स में आपका स्टॉक आ गया, आपकी डेटर्स आ गए. ठीक है, एनी मार्केटेबल सिक्योरिटीज. मार्केटेबल सिक्योरिटीज मींस व्हिच आर हैविंग अ व्हिच कैन बी which are a liquid asset. Liquid asset means जिसको आप in cash करा सकते हो बहुत जल्दी, and for which you do not have an intention to hold them up for a longer period. ठीक है? So investments are also two types: long term investment, short term investments. Long term investments will go in non current assets, short term investments will come under the current assets. ठीक है? There are too much bifurcation into the assets, but in this particular point I would like to discuss that just this particular thing, because as we will move forward we will understand many more things. Next is the liabilities. Obviously assets आई हैं. If you have assets in your business, then from somewhere it might have come. Either you might have given the money. ठीक है? जैसे for example, let's understand, whenever we purchase a car, we take a loan. ठीक है? Car loan we take and we finance our cars. Some amount we pay the down payment and then the loan is done. Yes, so loan is done. ठीक है? So car is my asset. Fine. Car is my asset. But पैसा कहाँ से आया इस कार के लिए? How I have arranged money for this particular car? Either it will be my own funds or I must have taken a loan. Because I have taken a loan, that is called as the liability. I have to pay back this loan to someone else. ठीक है? So liabilities are obligations that an enterprise has to pay at some time in future. Now liabilities, similarly like assets, they can also be of two types: non-current as well as the current. Non-current liabilities which I have to pay in a period of more than 12 months. ठीक है? Timing के हिसाब से. Like suppose bank loan. I have taken a bank loan for a period of 5 years. So this is going to be called as my non-current liability. ठीक है? और current liabilities क्या होती हैं? Suppose I have purchased a raw material for my business. I have a business of manufacturing biscuits. Normally the class timing is 10 a.m. but because of some situations it can get delayed, but you always have the option to watch it later on in the playlist. ठीक है? So now let's see over here current and non-current. ठीक है? Current liabilities which are there for the business, which are there in the business for a period of lesser than 12 months. Like I have the business of manufacturing biscuits, and for that I need maida, I need oil, ठीक है, palm oil, etc. All such things I need. Now how I have to purchase it from somewhere, right? So when I purchase it from the supplier says that okay, pay me in 2 months timing. So that supplier is my creditor, and this will be called as a current liability. ठीक है? Now next two things, I have not included many of the definitions over here because I understand that these are the part and parcel, and when we will be covering the other major topics, like we will be covering trial balance, we will be covering P&L, balance sheet, at that particular time with the concept I will include all the definitions that are required. ठीक है? अभी के लिए बस initial start करने के लिए इतना ठीक है. The next thing which I want to talk about the capital. ठीक है? So how is the capital decided? See, I want to start a business of manufacturing cookies. ठीक है? I am very passionate about cookies, so I want to manufacture them. Now for starting any particular business, I have to pitch in some amount. मुझे कुछ amount डालना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? तभी business start होगा. So into my business, I brought in 50,000 rupees. So this 50,000 rupees which has been brought by the owner into the business, this is called as the capital. ठीक है? जो पैसा ओनर ने लगाया उसको कैपिटल कहते हैं, और जो पैसा आपने किसी से उधार लिया उसको आप क्या कहेंगे? लोन या लायबिलिटी. ठीक है? अंडरस्टूड दैट थिंग? कैपिटल इज the amount invested by the owner in the firm is known as the capital. It is going to be 10 a.m. tomorrow's class timing. That is our regular timing, but in some exceptional situations I have to delay it. Otherwise the normal timing of my class is 10 a.m. The amount invested by the owner in the firm is known as the capital. It may be brought in the form of cash or assets by the owner for the business entity. Capital is the obligation and claim on the assets of the business. ठीक है. So now I would like to depict this through an example because it is very important. We are starting the accounts from the basics. So it is important that we learn step by step, and as we'll proceed towards the trial balance and balance sheet, we'll not be having any kind of confusion. Now, yes, let's see this. So I would like to start a business of cookies. Okay. So for this particular business, there are certain things that I have brought. What are those things? Let's see. I brought cash worth 50,000. ठीक है. फिर मेरे पास एक मशीन भी पड़ी हुई थी बिस्किट्स बनाने की. वो मशीन भी मैं अपने बिजनेस में ले आई. दैट इज फॉर 10,000 रुपीज. ठीक है. इसके अलावा मेरे पास एक बिल्डिंग थी. मेरे पास एक बिल्डिंग थी जिसको मैं इस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पर्पस के लिए यूज करने वाली हूँ. ठीक है. एंड दिस बिल्डिंग इज हैविंग अ वर्थ ऑफ 10 लाख रुपीज. ठीक. So these are the things, these are the assets that I have brought into my business. Any kinds of doubt you might be having, please call on the helpline number. They will guide you with the course that how you should be studying about it. ठीक है. Okay. So these are the things that I have in my business. 10 lakh, 10,000, 50,000. Total is 10 lakh 60,000. Right? 10 lakh 60,000 is the total amount. Now, this is the total amount that I have brought in my business. So this is my capital. Now, into my business, when capital will be written, it will be written like this. Correct? So this is why we will be seeing a concept of duality when we will read the document further on, कि हर चीज के दो impact होते हैं. I am bringing capital into my business in following assets form. Cash भी लाए हैं, machinery भी लाए हैं, building भी लाए हैं, everything is there. ठीक है. So 1060 total, 1060 my capital. Now this might happen. See, I have started a business. I am a person. I have needs. Correct. So it might happen that for my personal expenses, suppose I have a car, ठीक है, और उस कार में पेट्रोल डलवाना है. I have to fill the fuel in that particular car. So I have withdrawn 5,000 rupees from this cash balance, right? So this will be called as the drawings. What it is called as? Drawings. So any amount that the owner withdraws from the business for the use of his personal things or personal expenses, that is called as the drawings. So drawings को कैसे दिखाएंगे? आपको कैपिटल में से माइनस करना पड़ेगा drawings. बिजनेस यहां से भी कैश से भी आपको माइनस करना पड़ेगा. नाउ हियर कम्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट विच इज कॉल्ड एज अ सेपरेट एंटिटी. ठीक है. अभी हम आगे पढ़ेंगे जब, तो वहां पे आप देखेंगे देयर इज अ कॉन्सेप्ट कॉल्ड एज सेपरेट एंटिटी. Although I have started my business, but my identity and identity of my business is different. ठीक है. दोनों की आइडेंटिटी एकदम अलग अलग है. Whatever expenses I am incurring on myself, on my personal things, or let's say for my family, they are not business expenses, and hence they should be removed from any kind of business accounting that you might be doing. ठीक है. So with that, see over here, drawings. So withdrawal of money or goods by the owner from the business for personal use is called as the drawings. Drawings reduces the investment of the owners. Like I have just illustrated you, in a capital figure, if I have withdrawn 5,000 rupees in order to put the fuel into my car, that is my personal expense. It is not being used for the business. So that is why I have to reduce it and drawings are reduced. Okay? Now these are very important concepts because we have to understand journal, we have to understand ledger. करेक्ट. सो वहां पे ये सारी चीजें आपको समझ में आएंगी कि ठीक है हम ऐसा कर भी रहे हैं तो क्यों कर रहे हैं. तो इसीलिए step by step we have to take. Now once we have seen this, these were the very few basics that I have taken over here. Now next thing is generally accepted accounting principles. Generally accepted accounting principles ये बड़ी difficult सा term है, ऐसा क्यों है वो discuss करते हैं. So पहली बात आप ये समझिए कि suppose मेरा business है, I live in India obviously, and I have a business, and I prepared the accounts of the same business. ठीक है. Now you also live in India but in a different state. Let's say you stay in Madhya Pradesh, ठीक है, and I stay in Rajasthan. So you stay in Madhya Pradesh and you had to prepare the accounts of your business and you have also prepared it. Now the problem is that my account and your accounts, they do not match, the format do not match. There is an investor which wants to invest, ठीक है, and there are two options, my business and your business. Now the investor is confused कि किसके business में invest करूं, मेरे में या तुम्हारे में, क्योंकि वो पता ही नहीं लगा पा रहा. हमारे फॉर्मेट्स एकदम अलग हैं. Our format of preparing the accounts is totally different. We have followed different principles altogether. My principles are totally different. How I have recorded the transaction, your principles are totally different. So there is no comparability in my account and your account. And this is why a prospective investor which wants to invest in us, he is confused. He is not able to compare my results with your results. So this is why some principles, conventions and concepts have been developed. ठीक है. ये conventions and concepts क्या कहते हैं, ये कहते हैं कि अगर आप financial statements prepare कर रहे हैं तो prepare them in a certain format. If you are preparing financial statements, then prepare them in a certain format so that everyone who is a reader or a user of such financial statement, they can compare it. ठीक है. So this is the concept of generally accepted accounting principles. So in order to maintain uniformity and consistency in accounting records, some principles have been developed and these are called as the generally accepted accounting principles. ठीक है. They are named as principles, concepts, conventions, etc., etc. Next thing is these principles are not static in nature. Not static in nature मतलब ये change होते रहते हैं as per the demand of legal, social or environmental situation. ठीक है. Suppose our government has decided very few years back, what was happened, India was having accounting standards but the international scenario they were following IFRS. ठीक है. So what India does, in order to match the internationally accepted accounting principles, what India did, India also brought Ind AS, ठीक है, Indian accounting standards. Now these Indian accounting standards, they have quite a similarity with IFRS. So now the accounts which are prepared in world over, they are comparable to the Indian accounts and this brings the ease of doing business. ठीक है. So such kind of legal changes, they can happen. They always, because nothing is permanent in this world, everything is bound to change. So please remember this thing, that principles are never static in nature, they keeps on changing. Now there are next two things. These principles, they sometimes also referred as the concepts and conventions. The term concept का मतलब होता है necessary assumptions and ideas which are fundamental to the accounting, and conventions means some customs or traditions that have been applicable over time. ठीक है. So these are the things that are there. Apart from that, one more thing that I wanted to tell you over here. कॉन्सेप्ट का मतलब क्या होता है, जब आप अकाउंट्स प्रिपेयर करते हैं, whenever you are preparing the account there are some assumptions that you make, ठीक है, कि ये तो होगा ही. For example, one such assumption is, we will be covering all such assumptions in detail, no need to worry, but I'm just giving you example over here. We take the assumption of going concern, ठीक है. गोइंग कंसर्न वाला assumption क्या होता है, it says that whenever I am preparing any business account or whenever I am preparing the financial statement, I always assume that this business is going to be continued for a longer period of time, ठीक है, ये business बंद नहीं होगा जल्दी से. This is the assumption that we make under the going concern point. Now next thing that I would like to tell you, wait for a second. Okay. So the next things that we have to do is list of the basic accounting concepts. List of basic accounting concepts, we have it over here. These are all the concepts that we have to cover. Why we have to cover, I'll tell you. In your EPFO exam, there are direct questions which have been asked, examples will be provided and direct questions will be asked. Okay, this example depicts which of the accounting concept you have to tell. Now see over here, concepts like entity, money measurement, going concern, accounting period, cost, duality, revenue recognition, matching concept, consistency, conservatism, materiality, etc. etc. Now, there was a question on money measurement. There was a question on revenue recognition. Okay? There was a question on the materiality principle as well as the conservatism, ठीक है, and there was also a question on matching. Yes, so these were the accounting concepts. They have been already asked by in the previous EPFO examination, so you can just understand that how much important this is for us, ठीक है. So the number one principle that we will be studying today is called as the business entity concept. What is this business entity concept? So this is what I was talking about. This particular principle exists in the corporate law as well. Corporate law में इसको कहा जाता है separate legal entity. In corporate law, it is said like that it is the company as well as the owner. They both are having different legal identity. ठीक है, मैं और मेरा business हम दोनों same नहीं हैं. My business having a separate legal identity, anyone who wants to file a case can file a case on my business. I will not be affected. Obviously, indirectly I will be affected, but not directly. My name will not come over there. My business is liable to be sued. Okay? If my business wants to acquire a property, okay, so my business can acquire a property because it is having a separate legal entity. Apart from that, this is taken under Companies Act, okay, but for the other entities as well, business is separate, owner is separate. That is why whenever we prepare the balance sheet, you have always seen this. जब भी हम बिजनेस की बैलेंस शीट प्रिपेयर करते हैं, एट दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम बिजनेस सेज दैट ओके दीज आर माय असेट्स एंड दिस साइड आई हैव माय लायबिलिटीज. आपने हमेशा नोटिस किया होगा दैट इन लायबिलिटी साइड वी राइट द कैपिटल. व्हाट वी राइट कैपिटल. ठीक है, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज द liabilities as well as the assets matching. ठीक, बिजनेस कहता है कि yes, I am different from my owner. My owner has provided me the capital and this capital I am going to write in the liability. Whenever this business will shut down or whenever this business will close, at that particular time, me as a business, I have to return the capital to my owner. So this is called as the concept of business entity. ठीक है, बहुत ध्यान से समझिएगा. especially the examples. Examples are very important. So the concept of business entity, it assumes that business has a distinct and separate entity from its owners. It means that for the purpose of accounting, business and owners are to be treated as two separate entities. Now, for example, the example I have already provided you, that the capital which is brought by the owner, it is kept at liability side. Similarly, when the owner withdraws any money from the business for his personal expenses, it is treated as a reduction in capital. ऐसा इसलिए किया जाता है because we understand that the business and owner are two different things, called as the business entity concept. Now the next concept, very important, called as the money measurement concept, have been directly asked in the examination. That is why important to study. Now money measurement concept क्या कहता है कि आपको सिर्फ वो ट्रांजैक्शंस रिकॉर्ड करने हैं that can be measured in terms of money. ठीक है, if certain expense you have made, if it can be measured in terms of money, please record it. If a certain income you have received, if it can be recorded in terms of money, please record it. ठीक है, if any asset you have purchased and it can be valued in terms of money, then go ahead and please record it. Now I will give you certain example. The example is, suppose in my business I have taken an employee. That particular employee is very pathetic. ठीक है, he is not working properly, he does not have any focus onto his work, and I'm completely very disturbed with the performance of that particular employee. Now this piece of information, will it find any place in my financial statements? No, because this piece of information is not having any money related connection. अब मैं इस चीज को मनी टर्म्स में कैसे बताऊं कि ये एम्प्लॉय कितना बेकार है परफॉर्मेंस में, मैं नहीं बता सकती. ठीक है, बट देयर इज एन अनदर साइड टू इट. सपोज माय एम्प्लॉय इज अ टोटली डिसऑनेस्ट पर्सन. ठीक है, he does a scam in my organization, and because of that scam he takes some 10,000 rupees with him. ठीक है, so this is what? This is theft. ठीक, this is my loss. I have incurred a loss of theft by 10,000 rupees. Can be measured in terms of money. Now I'll be able to record this into my financial statements. So this is what I was telling you. Any transaction will be recorded in the business financial statements if and only if it can be measured in terms of money. ठीक है? So see over here. The concept of money measurement states that only those transactions and happenings in an organization which can be expressed in terms of money, such as sale of goods or payment of expenses or receipt of income, they are to be recorded in the books of accounts. All such transactions or happenings which cannot be expressed in the monetary terms, like manager ka appointment, capabilities of human resources, creativity of research department, if such things cannot be measured in the terms of money, then I cannot record them. ठीक है, I cannot have them into my financial statements. So for this particular class, I will be having only this much. Thank you so much for joining in. Tomorrow the class timing is at 10 a.m. I hope that you all will join. Thank you so much. And please do not forget to like this video.